Champlain Cable is a specialty manufacturer of electrical wire and cable. And our markets service UL, CSA segments, automotive, commercial vehicle, and Navy shipboard, and marine oil and gas.
Champlain's 60 years of producing specialty wire and cable. Our true vision and focus is next generation, and what separates us from other wire companies is our compounds. We are investing every day of the week to enhance mechanical, physical, electrical properties to better perform in specialty applications. One of Champlain Cable's most pronounced compounds is our EXAR. EXAR came to be in the early 70s. The focus for that product was supporting our industrial customer base, progressing from appliance wiring, motors and transformers, and in current day is a specialty product that survives in a varnish release process for the building of specialty motors and transformers.
So the basic process of making a lead wire on paper is really pretty easy. We take the tin copper conductor or bare copper conductor, and then it's insulated through an extrusion line which puts the hot melt insulation onto the conductor, and then it's taken up at the end of the line. Then it moves on to the irradiation process where it gets a dose of high voltage electrons, and that changes the molecular structure of the insulation. And then after irradiation, it heads to packaging, and then some final quality checks, and it's out the door.
In the extrusion process, we have a number of different testing mechanisms that are going on to ensure the quality of the product. As you start at the beginning of the line, we have a laser micrometer that is verifying the core itself. As the cable is entering the crosshead, we're verifying the core diameter to ensure that the core is consistent throughout the entire run and identifying if there could possibly be any defects. Then during the extrusion process, after the insulation is applied to the cable, we have another laser mic that is checking the diameter of the hot wire. And then finally, we also check the diameter once the wire is cooled off through a number of water troughs. On top of that, we're verifying wall thickness concentricity continuously throughout the run, as well as we have a spark tester to ensure the insulation properties are exactly where we want them. The last step in our process is our packaging step, where we take a master reel and run it through a proprietary dipping process, as well as verify all of the physical characteristics of that wire. The dip is specially formulated to ensure that in the application, when utilizing varnishes, the varnish will not adhere to the insulation and cause cracking.
Do this varnish testing, we just preheat the varnish in our varnish testing ovens to a certain temp. Take our samples that are prepped, then they are dipped into the varnish at a certain temperature. Generally speaking, we are looking at our customers or the specifications for how long do we pull the samples from the varnish for, how deep are they submerged in, how long do they stay submerged. All of those important details for testing are relayed to us either by our customers who have this cable that needs to fit this need, or by us interpreting certain specifications that are generally considered industry standards. We do UL, CSA type oil testing, and so these tests generally require you to submerge or dip your wire in oil at 100 degrees or so centigrade. From there, you need to measure for a certain period of time. Once you've heat aged the oil sample, oil submerged or oil dipped sample for a certain amount of time, then you need to check and verify that the properties after the oil test are some fraction of the initial properties. some of the things that they're looking for would be like, is the tensile strength 90% of the initial value? If the tensile strength is 90% of the initial value, you know that your material hasn't gone any drastic changes since you've done the oil testing. You could conclude that it is resistant to that oil.
The EXAR product is best in class of motor lead wires. It's flexible, it's oil resistant, and it's got a thin diameter compared to some of the other products, and that makes it tougher than some of the larger insulated material wire and cable. So winders in this market tend to like our product a lot because it's flexible and small, and they can route it through the motor easier than some other products.